Good afternoon, everyone. It's David Schlotthauer here in the home weather office for Saturday, January the 27th, 2024. In today's detailed weather forecast, we're keeping an eye on another winter storm for the Northeast for Sunday into Monday that could bring quite a bit of snowfall, heavy rainfall, and some strong winds. But we also have to keep an eye on California with another atmospheric river that can deliver inches of rainfall, feet of snowfall for the higher elevations, and some really strong winds that could blow down trees and power lines. So in today's update, we'll break down all those details. So to start off things, here's a look at the European model for this afternoon, and we can see where it's raining pretty hard. We even had some severe weather today across southern Alabama and portions of Florida where tornado watches were issued. So definitely a little bit on the active side as far as the system goes, but it's only going to get more interesting by the time we go into Sunday and into Monday. As this system tracks across the Northeast, it's going to tap into more colder air out of the north. And so by Sunday morning, right around actually early afternoon, we do have the chances for some areas up here in Pennsylvania, as well as central and southern New York to get your next round of snowfall, which is going to be great for a lot of you that haven't had much snowfall. While overall, you could see more. You definitely could ask for more snowfall because it's been on the near average to below average side this year so far. That system continues to track towards the Northeast, bringing more snow still for the extreme regions there of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, as well as, say, Connecticut and Massachusetts before that system is out of here and things get a lot more quieter. However, though, when we do take a look at the West, it's a different story. We're going to get some active weather by the time we go into Tuesday night, especially for Wednesday into Thursday. It's not only just going to be wet and windy, also going to be seeing some much colder temperatures. So this look at how it's all going to play out. So there's California right here. Here's Nevada, here's Oregon, and here's Washington. And the green colors indicate where it's raining. So when we go forward in time here, we can see that system getting closer, approaching northwestern California by Wednesday morning, the 31st, the last day of January, folks, before we flip the calendar into February. Oregon and Washington, you're going to get some good, decent rain out of this atmospheric river, but most of the forcing will be to the south, such as central and northern California. So by Wednesday night, that system arrives over our area. And I'll tell you, folks, this is going to be a highly impactful system. We're talking some strong winds. We're talking about some pretty intense rainfall rates exceeding about a quarter to a half an inch an hour at times. Maybe some of the heaviest pockets, maybe getting close to 3/4 of an inch an hour. Snowfall rates exceeding 3 to 6 inches an hour for the highest peaks. So if you're doing anything towards the mountains, or if you're traveling up there at all, do not go on Wednesday or even on Thursday. There's just going to be so much impacts up there with the potential for more avalanches for the higher elevations for backcountry ski resorts. Okay, that rolls through into Southern California by Thursday afternoon, where it's going to bring quite a bit of rainfall down there. So you all need it there, correct? Over the Four Corners by Friday. So this is the 2nd of February, still snowing in California, over Nevada, over Oregon and Washington before this system moves in towards the Midwest. And we can see it here right on the map there, some dark blue colors, an indication that there could be some moderate to heavy snowfall rates there over the panhandle of Oklahoma, the northern portion there of Texas, the tippy north, but mainly for Colorado. But there's a little bit of uncertainty in the models on exactly how this is all going to evolve. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's just how it is in the numerical weather world these days, that models are just not doing as good of a job as they should be this time of the year. And then that system begins to impact the eastern seaboard yet again. Now, I know some of you are like, oh, show the east, right? I can show you all, but please do not take this seriously. This is another bombing cyclone. Pressure's there down to 960 millibars. It's not going to happen. I'll just tell you that right now. The last model had it a lot weaker. The last run, nothing. So it's going to be interesting if the trends do continue to get more aggressive on that. But if it does happen, let's just pretend if it does, that would be a very impactful system for the Northeast yet again, similar to with what we had in mid-January. How much rainfall could you see out of these storm systems? Now, depending on where in the United States you actually are at, if you're in the Northeast, it's going to be in the form of snowfall for some locations. But portions of Pennsylvania, you're just going to get rain, and you might get up to 2 inches out of that system. Actually, wait, no, let's back it out. My bad. There we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry, folks. Possibly about an inch or so, half an inch to an inch. Between about 1 to maybe 2 inches of rainfall for California, for Oregon and Washington with that next storm system for the middle of this week. Okay. Now, taking a look at snowfall totals, though, for the Northeast with that winter storm, of course, you might see as much as 6 to 10 inches. We're not talking a lot about a foot or more. We're going to be seeing anywhere between 6 to 10 inches at most. Some of the highest peaks may be getting close to 11 inches. But I don't think we're going to see a foot out of this. I just don't have a lot of confidence yet. It might go back and forth a little bit, but I'm just not confident. Even if we look at the NAM 12-kilometer model, it is showing under a foot of snowfall for the same time frame. But there will be snow. Some of it could be wet, and it could cause a little bit of problems. The snow you don't like to shovel, right? Now, for the West, as far as that goes for snowfall totals, let's go to the European model yet again. For that, we can see for the first storm, you might see up to 5, maybe about 3 to maybe 1 to 3 feet of snow, and then more additional snow thereafter. Okay, so that's a look at the snowfall forecast on the Euro. Let's talk about temperatures, because it's going to be really warm for many locations, not just for California, but also for much of the nation. Really, really, really warm weather. And I mean, some of the warmest weather we have had here in California in a long time. Okay, it's been a few years since we have had temperatures in the mid-70s in some areas. So let's take a look at that. So this is the European model for this afternoon. Really warm. Again, up in the northern plains, undescribable. Okay, it's been so cold up there for the middle part of January. We flipped the pattern. Now it's much warmer. 60s, how about that for Minnesota? Also, not Minnesota, 60s for Montana and for the high plains. And then we go forward. Look at that. We got 70s in California. We got close to 80 degrees potentially there for Phoenix, Arizona. 60s in Texas. Much warmer coming for the rest of this week. Look at this. Maybe even some low 60s in some of the valley locations in Montana. So definitely no cold air, and you can't find it at all in British Columbia, Alberta, Canada, or Saskatchewan. It'll be a really warm end to January, and then that continues all the way into February the 1st. And I just don't see any signs of any Arctic invasions yet in the forecast through at least the middle of February. And this is why the Climate Prediction Center is still indicating that the chances will be greater for above average temperatures across much of the Midwest, the northern plains, into the Great Lakes. So don't worry about any Arctic invasions, folks. It's not coming over the next 6 to 10 days, and even in the next 14 days, still going to be warmer than average across the northern tier, the Great Lakes of the United States, where if you are in the West, it is going to be below average temperature chances likely for California, for Southern California. So welcome back winter. In fact, some of the models do indicate that isolated locations in the Central Valley could have temperatures in the 40s during the day. Upper 40s at most, or coldest locations. That's pretty unusual for late January, actually. Our averages are already in the upper 50s. So we're going to have temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below normal for California. And that continues all the way through the next 14 days. Colder than average for the West, warmer than average for the East. And if we look at our precipitation chances here, definitely above average for the desert Southwest for the West, not so great for the Great Lakes, and that continues through the 8 to 14 day forecast, where it is going to be above average likely for much of the West including for the Four Corners region, where the northeast and the northwest portions of the United States will see a chance for below average precipitation. Not getting much of activity this go around. Also, before I do close out the video, there is a marginal risk for heavy rainfall on the Climate Prediction Center hydrological outlook for Eureka, for Brookings, for Coos Bay in the Oregon-California border. This expands much further south by the time we go into day 5. This is for Wednesday into Thursday. Santa Rosa, Redding, Eureka, Sacramento, Stockton have a marginal risk at seeing some heavy rainfall. This could lead to some flood concerns, okay? We're doing it again, folks. Another big storm headed our way. More flooding, heavy rain, and some strong winds certainly could take down trees and power lines yet again. Make sure you're prepared for this. We will keep you updated as this gets closer, because this is something that we do have to watch for in days to come. Well, anyways, thank you all for tuning in to today's detailed weather forecast and discussion for Saturday, January the 27th, 2024. If you did like today's video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit the like button and share this video with your family and friends on social media. Make today a great day. I will be back with you more hopefully tomorrow. Sundays are tough days for me to upload because I have church, then I have work, and so I'll try to fit something in, especially because we have the weather pattern is getting active again.